Hello there, welcome to the YouTube channel. Yeah, we're doing a fun deck today. It features a lot of Outlaws Thunder Junction cards, but it's based around one particular card type. Now, one of my favourite decks I've ever built in real life and on MTGO is Super Friends. And obviously, if Super Friends is always a Planeswalker deck, you know what it does, doubling season, lots of ramp, lots of ways of getting the Planeswalkers out, then just hopefully controlling the board with Wrath of God, Damnation, Blasphemous Act, etc. until all the Planeswalkers can ultimate, and then you just win with all the ultimates played on walkers. It's good fun, I love it. But in Outlaws of Thunder Junction, we got a whole new series of cards that I really want to play around with, which are very similar to the Oaths that work really well in the Super Friends deck. And obviously they are all of the join up cards. I have got a bit of a thing about theme decks, and this one I really do like. It's basically a legendary deck, but it features all 5 of these cards, and they all join up and do things. You know, Rakdos joins up, returns a card from your graveyard, with +1/+1 counters on it when it enters the play, and then when a legendary creature you control dies, we deal that much damage to an opponent. Kellen gets us basically plot any legend we've got on our hand that's 3 mana or less, or any card in our hand that's 3 mana or less, and then legendary creatures get a +1/+1 counter on them for each creature you control. Each creature you control when it comes into play, sorry. And he joins up, does 5 damage to a planeswalker or a creature opponent controls, and then double triggers the legendary abilities of our creatures. Vraska puts a death touch counter on each creature, which isn't always great, but it works sometimes. And then whenever a legendary creature deals combat damage to a player, we draw a card. And then Tiny Bones, basically everyone discards one apart from us, and then whenever a legendary creature enters the battlefield under control, any number of target players lose one, well, mill a card and lose a life. So I've built this deck featuring all of these. I'm going to be honest, the commander is Jodah, who's just appeared above me. We all know this one from Dominaria. Wooburg, and each legendary creature you control get +X/+X, where that X is the number of legendary creatures you control. And then whenever you cast a legendary spell from your hand, exile cards on top of your library. So it does sort of like cascade effect for legendary non-land cards with lesser mana value, which actually works quite well with the join-up cards. Occasionally you get the extra join-up one come in instead. So this is what today's deck looks like. Okay, so start at the beginning. 1 drop. Yosamaru, Ever the Faithful. Yep. Legendary permanents put +1/+1 counters on here. And Offenser, okay, some of these cards I will admit aren't all from Outlaws of Thunder Junction, but they make sense in the deck. This bolsters our creatures when they come into play with one of the non-tokens. Magda, the first of the OTJ cards, commit a crime, we get a tap treasure token, and then sacrifice 3 treasures, which we may be able to. We get a 4/4 Scorpion Dragon. Malcolm the Eye, second spell each turn we get to investigate. Tau Wookeen, Perfect Shot. I'm not sure. This is the only one of the few Outlaw Thunder Junction legends I'm not sure being here, because we've not got that much non-combat damage in the deck, if any at all. But I figured, you know, I had a slot left at the end. This is a 2 drop. Yeah, we'll go for it. Vladimir, New Blood. We commit crimes. We get to put +1/+1 counters on it. And it's, once we get them up to 4, it gets Vigilance, Lifelink and Menace, sorry. Fire Smasher, the Gleeful Grenadier. This helps us commit the crimes that we need to do. We could just target the opponent with each most life when we get an outlaw come into play. Breaches is also here. Hopefully we'll have some artifacts to sacrifice, you know, like the one from Malcolm, the Investigate one or something. And we'll try and do it that way. But at the end of the day, it's another card. It's a 3 mana 3/3 menace. It's probably not good. It probably can be removed from the deck, but it's here for now. Fortune, Loyal Steed also makes an appearance. Having the Scry 2 is very useful in this deck, and maybe flashing cards in and out does help as well when we get them saddled. Gerard, Mirror of the Wilds, lets us make token copies of things that may have entered the battlefield this turn. It could be useful, especially when we've got Honest Rustine. We can make a copy of this and return another target creature card from our graveyard. Yes, the copy will die, but hey. Jolene, the Plundering Pugilist, will give us treasure tokens quite happily, which work very well with the Horde Master. Campbell, the Profiteering Mare, obviously we get to make copies of tokens our opponents control once each turn, and then whenever one or more tokens enter the battlefield under our control, everyone loses 1, we gain 1. So yeah, that doesn't happen once a turn. That's whenever tokens enter, so pretty useful. Lazaveth, Familiar Stranger. We commit a crime, put a +1/+1 counter on it, exile a card from a graveyard. If it's a creature card, you may have Lazaveth become a copy of that card until the end of turn. Might be something we want to nick out someone else's graveyard. Lilia, Undefeated Slick Shot. No instants of sorceries of multicolour style too much in the deck at all. But the prowess is quite nice, and again, it's another 3-drop for 3 mana. Marchesa, Dealer of Death, however, does all the crime committing for us, and we get to look at the top card of our library. We will pay the 1 most of the time. Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, just a little bit of life gain and mana ramp. Vian Gold Waker gives all our outlaws, haste and vigilance, which is really nice. And treasure tokens then become 3/3 assassins. Wily Duke Atin Hero is also here. Helps us, we'll spend a lot of time mounting Fortune Law Steed, I would guess. But yeah, another 4/2 for 3 mana with vigilance, so we're not going to complain. Akul the Unrepentant, we can just sacrifice our creatures and get some of the other legends into play if we need to. Baron Braywater, have the tokens under the control, we get some vampire stuff, so works very nicely with some of the other cards. Ereth Joe, Frontier Mentor, gives us a mercenary. Whenever you activate an ability that targets a creature or player, you may copy it and choose new targets. So, yeah, that was fine by me. Get the whole gem Lightfoot Sky Explorer. If we didn't cast a spell from our hand, we get do a bit of card drawing, which can happen with this deck. You do get stalled occasionally with the mana. Calaroom Violent Cacophony. I think that's how we say it. Whenever you cast your second spell, put a +1/+1 on it and draw a card. Yeah, 4 mana, 2/3 flyer that gets bigger quite easily in this deck. Is nice. Savala gives us a whole load of mercenary tokens, so yep, we'll keep going with this. Another couple of non-OTJ cards. Yidris Maelstrom Wielder, because who doesn't like getting your creatures to cascade? That's always sounds good. And Elish Norn, Mother of the Machines, might as well get the double triggers on the go and stopping everyone else's triggers happening. Imratet, Celebrant Bounty, one of the other cards that isn't from OTJ, comes in, gives all our 6 casting spells all greater cascade, so yeah, nice. OJ Chasm, Deepest Growth gets us around the casting cost of some of the creatures. Roxanne, Starfall Savant, it gives us nice mana tokens, and then obviously doubles up the mana when we tap our artifacts. Annie Flash lets us return something from the graveyard that's been killed off early in the game to play. Sorry, moving the screen around. And then when we get it tapped, we exile the top 2 cards of our library. You may play those cards this turn, so yeah. Bonnie Powell Clear Cutter. I am looking at Bonnie Powell for another deck, a pure deck races around Bonnie Powell, but at the moment they make an appearance in here because Giant Scout bringing a nice big token with us. Fine by me. Atraxa also makes an appearance just because I do want to get cards in my hand, and this is a nice way of doing it. And the Maelstrom Wanderer, just to cascade and make sure all our things have haste when they need to have it. Just the one planeswalker. Dealer, the Binder of Wheels, might as well be here. Gives the legend +2 to give a legendary creature, which they all are. Vigilance, Lifelink, and Indestructible until our next turn, so can be helpful. And then we start with the spells. Vandal Blast blows up everyone else's artifacts. Cyclonic Rift controls the board eventually. Farseek, Nature's Law, 3 visits, go and search for tomorrow and venture forth. Hopefully sort all our land out for us. Damnation, Wrath of God, Blasphemous Act control the board. Yes, we don't really want to do this if we have to, but there are times things must happen where we have to blow the board up to keep alive. Artifact wise, a little bit of ramp in Mox Tantalite, Soul Talisman, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet. Elixir of Immortality makes an appearance to make sure we can shuffle all our legends back into our graveyard when they've undoubtedly been killed off a few times. And then we have the medallions just to cut the casting costs down to some of the more expensive spells as things go along, and each one of these will reduce the recast cost of Jodah by 1, so it does help. The enchantments, well, the joins up cards are all here. I've also put in Rising of the Day, so all our legendary creatures get +1/+0 and have haste. Made sense, might as well get this one in from Lord of the Rings. Timur Ascendancy, all the creatures we control have haste, and creatures with power 4 more greater, end of the battlefield we get to draw a card. And Maelstrom Nexus, I figured I might as well have a little bit of fun and put this in as well, because we're going to play 5 colours, we might as well have this in and get a little bit of cascading each time. Beyond that, it is purely just the usual selection of lands you would expect to see in such a deck as this. We are only playing 3 forests as the only basics in the deck. Everything else has got coloured mana in it, which is a bit of a change for me. Well, apart from the sack lands, but you got that. We have got all of the cycling lands in, like Raffine's Tower, etc. Jetmir's Garden, they're all here. A few of the Czech lands, and yeah, a couple of the MKM Surveil lands as well, just to round it all off. And that's it. As I said, it's a little bit of fun to end the week off with. There is another video coming up tomorrow. If you want to watch some of the decks I've played, I've uploaded our stream from the weekend where we played 3 of the decks that I've done recently. Annie Flash, Sivala and Raikou. They're the ones, so you can see all them tomorrow. That was the stream from Sunday I did last week. I'll probably give this deck you're watching right now a run out tonight on the stream. So if you want to come and see me play it tonight, there's a link down below to my Twitch account. You can come and give me a follow over there. Hopefully, if you hit the subscribe button, there's probably the Tiny Bones joins up over in the corner over here. 395 as I record this one a day, getting that little bit closer to that magic 500 number by the end of the year. So if you can subscribe, I'd appreciate it. But that's it for now. More deck takes, or my takes on Commanders I should say, are coming out on Monday next week. Enjoy the replay tomorrow, and if you come and see me tonight on the stream on Thursday, yeah, look forward to meeting you then. So take care, and I'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.